Well, hey everybody, and welcome to the final episode in my short series of little village houses surrounding my iron farm. These houses have been so fun to build, and today I'm going to start with a workshop for the stonecutters, toolsmiths, and weaponsmiths. At the end, I'll give a full tour of the completed village and talk about iron farms and bedrock. All right, so to start, I'm going to dye 2 of these sheep. I'm going to use their wool for carpet inside the building, and I'd like the wool to kind of mimic the stone colors. Since I want the sheep to grow their wool back, I'm going to have to break all these moss carpets and let the grass do its thing. Here in my chest, you can see what I'm going to be working with today. It's mostly stone and dark oak logs, and I'll tell you a secret. I tore down a pillager outpost for all these dark oak logs. It's so much faster than chopping down trees. Okay, let's get going with this perimeter. So I'm going to use the existing side walls and just add in a window for the villager. Hello! For the front wall, I'm framing my wall with the dark oak logs, and then I'm going to mix the front with some stone bricks, and andesite. So I'll go over here real quick and then work from the other side instead of doing a lot of counting. I just want 1 block in the center for the door. So yeah. All right. So then that should be centered. We'll put the door in the center. For the windows, I want a little recess like a windowsill. So I'll use these logs as jigs to get the stairs in place so they're upside down. And then I'll add the glass on top. Cool. Next, I'm going to frame in a little courtyard. So the courtyard is going to be where they're working, So we'll frame it in for now, and then I'll go ahead and do my time lapse. Cool. Okay, so now for the time lapse. I was definitely the least prepared for this build. You might be able to spot all the times I broke blocks and rebuilt to get a better shape or a texture break. Anyway, I hope you enjoy building little houses in Minecraft as much as I do. All done. That was fun. So I'm pretty pleased with this build, but as I finished up, I realized there were a couple other little changes that I wanted to do. So we're going to get on those. I put together the interior really quickly off camera. I really like the stone and timber look in here. And then on the floor, I added my gray carpet. So hopefully this is all enough to stop the golems from spawning in here. So out here on the side wall, I want to add a bit more texture and depth. So I've kind of got this cool idea with some stone stairs and some stone wall. So the first thing is I'm going to break all these blocks and then add some stair and a glass and then a wall here, and then finally more stair. Yeah. So let's step back and look at that. Oh, it looks cool. I don't think I like the lower stair though. I'm going to go ahead and change that to a right side up stair. Oh yeah, I kind of like that recess. That's pretty neat. Now up here, I'm going to add an additional timber beam. This area just ended up being a little bit too plain. So first I'm going to cut out these blocks and then add in a horizontal line of the dark oak log. And finally, I'm going to move that chiseled stone block up a bit more. So we'll put the chiseled stone block and take a step back. Yeah, that just, there's just more texture there. Okay, here's where I'm going to add my water trough, for cooling the hot tools. So to do this, I dug down 2 blocks and then I put down some slab. And the slab is to stop the golems because they can spawn in water. And I'm removing all the dirt and replacing it with stone and stone block. Because this whole workspace, it wouldn't be dirt. It'd actually be stone. And I'll figure out how to unspawn it later. Okay, so around the trough, we're gonna put the trap doors. So we'll put water in there. And, I always think it's so funny that the trap doors hold water. Like, they shouldn't. They should leak, but they don't. And over here, I've set up a spot for the lava. And so, of course, the lava is to heat up the tools so that you can shape them. So they would have a lava pool here as well. I'll probably just use it as a trash can. And then the iron bars, that's for me, so I don't accidentally hop in the lava pool. And then, of course, because I've got stone cutters, I decided that they should have a little pile of stones. So we'll just put in a little pile of work stones. Maybe it's their trash, maybe it's what they're working on right now. And then a few little stone buttons all over the place for just sort of like the stone debris. So next up is to make this unspawnable. And what I'm going to use mostly is the glow lichen. I'm going to put a few, like this stone wall here. I can put a lantern on that later. But, a couple buttons here and there. I'm not 100% convinced the buttons are going to stop the golems, but we'll kind of test that out later. And then with the glow lichen, so you can put down one piece and then you can take your bone meal. Now, bone meal only does one at a time, but if you have a lot of bone meal, you can spread it that way, or you can just have it in your hand. And I'm going to, look for all the different spawnable surfaces and just put the glow lichen down. Okay. Oh, I got a piece of carpet here. Should I move that? Nah, we'll just leave the carpet there. Okay, so I think we're all done under here, which is great. And then over here, I put another pile of stone. And, most of this is just trying to keep things unspawnable, right? And then all the glow lichen. And then over here on the left side, another pile of stone. And in the corner, I put some bushes. And that's, I'm just trying to figure it out. Over in this corner, I made a little tree and some ferns and, sort of finished out the village feel of the whole thing. So that's it. This is the final village house. It's a stonecutter and toolsmith house, and it's a pretty simple build. Hope you enjoyed. And now let's take a walk around the village. Okay, so we got our wheat for the shepherds. And our shepherd's barn with our cool little sheep. We'll have to refix their little grassy area. So the shepherd's barn is really cool. And then over here, this is a guard tower. But I'll show you that in a second. So first we'll walk down this path and you can see the librarian house. This is the first house we built. And okay, so in here, what I did is I built a sugarcane farm for the librarians. And there's a kitty in here because I don't want creepers. Hopefully it'll keep the creepers out because I didn't put in a door. And this farm is from JC Plays. Link in the comments. He is the master of Bedrock Farms. But it's pretty simple and it's just pumping out sugarcane for me. so that I can use that for trading with the villagers as well as in the future for the rockets once I have wings. So, you know, this is a pretty cool little build, and they're doing all right in here. Just, you know, doing their librarian thing. And let's check down here, because this is the access for the iron farm. And it's doing great. So I turned it on a while back, and I'm going to pull these poppies out because I'll show you what I've been doing with the poppies here in a second. Okay, we're going to head on out of the librarian house. And then over to the left, you can see that I built kind of a my house, I guess, or a visitor house. So this is where the players can go. And I pretty much used up the rest of the oak log from the village for this build. This build is outside of the range of the villagers, so we can put beds in here and work tables and be able to, you know, store stuff. But, you know, yeah. And here on the back, I've got the composter. So I toss in the poppies, and this is, you know, small source, but it is generating a source of bone meal for me. But let's peek inside real quick. It's kind of cute. Really, really super simple, but I do love the carpet made of the glazed terracotta. And I made a funky little fireplace thing and a kitty. And that's, yeah, it's pretty basic. Ender chest, chest, so on and so forth. And we'll head on back out, and you can see the farmer's market. This is definitely one of my favorite builds out here. It's still so cheerful. And, you know, once I turned the iron farm back on, I learned a terrible truth that they love to spawn up here. I think they were spawning on the glass blocks. So I quickly removed all the glass blocks from above the villagers. But, you know, I did have to set up a little killing station over here with the lava for the golems. And you know what? This is not like a major server trying to create an iron farm for major. It's just me and my family. And yeah, some golems appear there. And they also, you know, they haven't appeared here. I think this one's safe. But they also appeared over maybe in that field. I'm not sure. Maybe they meandered over. But I'm okay with having to kill some golems every so often. I had to change this to stone wall because they were popping up in here too. And so you have to drag them down and drag them out and light them on fire. But yeah, you know, it's working out really well. And that's about it. So I've really enjoyed building the 4 houses around the iron farm, but it really left a lot of questions. What is a spawnable block and what is not? So some of the ones I thought would be okay were not, and some were. And so I'm actually putting together another video where I do a little bit of research here in Bedrock of what can iron golems actually spawn on. Because, you know, having decor around your iron spawner instead of it just being out in a field and kind of ugly, I think is important. It's an important part of Minecraft for people, you know, to not just have farms exposed and out in the open. So check back. Maybe next week I'll have that video out all about iron golem spawning. But in the meantime, bye.